In this quick video guide, we're gonna work with some edge tools in Blender. And in particular, we're gonna talk about edge loop or edge loop modeling, which is a technique or like a way you can model your object based on edges that go all around your object. So this is why they're called loops. So here you can see I'm selecting a loop right now and I can scale it. And I can also adjust the area of influence if I use the proportional editing. So if I want to do something straight, I'm gonna take off that option. So I'm going to scale or I can move the edge loop and or I can rotate it. So if I want to do something pretty straight, I can turn off the proportional editing. Otherwise, I need to turn that on, and it's gonna affect like not that only selection, but everything that is nearby, depending on the area of influence. So let me just start from the beginning. I'm gonna create a new general file. And if you want to know more about edge loop modeling, you will find a lot of other examples. And we're gonna just see the basics here. And if you're interested, you can check the other video guides and also video courses that we have in the channel dedicated to modeling, sculpting, and creating architecture in Blender. So let's start with the simple cube here. So if I go to object mode and I switch here from object mode to edit mode, now I can access the edges. Now edges are these segments that divide our mesh, our object. So again, if you're having troubles with these simple steps, check other video guides or the Blender basic video course. Now, there are many ways you can add segments or subdivisions in your model. And the two main ones, the two most important ones are the extrude. So if I select the face, in this case, I can extrude many times. So this will add more subdivisions, meaning that it's going to add more segments or edges. These are edges that have been created right now. And these are not simple edges, but these are edge loops because they go all around my object. And these are important for many reasons. In particular, when you want to add details to your model, when you want to do like something that is more curvy, you need segments, you need subdivisions. So to make it simple, if I go here and I add a simple modifier to the form, this model. So let's use like the band modifier. Now you can see that I can actually see a little bit of curviness or a little bit of curved surface. If I don't have these subdivisions, so if I just go back here and just push up this face like this, and I again apply a simple deform bend, you can see that it's not bending. It's simply like, stretching. So this is why we need subdivisions, one of the reason. But again, if you want to make more complex models, you will need subdivisions and loop cuts and segments and so on. So this is why this is really important when you do polygonal modeling. So I want to show you something with a cone. So I'm going to go to add mesh and add a cone. Now, what if I want to create more segments in here? So first thing, again, I can go back to edit mode. And one thing would be to extrude this, but look what happens. So if I extrude this, it's going to extrude it straight. So it's not actually creating a cone. And I can also scale this face like this and try to recreate that cone shape. But eventually it's not going to be like a perfect cone. It's going to have like this little, a smaller edge loop right here than it's supposed to. So it's not a perfect cone. And also, if I want to loop cut, so let's say that I want to add extra segments here by loop cutting, which is the other way. So one way is to extrude, the other way is to create loop cuts. So when I do loop cuts here, I cannot create it. Why? Because loop cuts, they need the same amount of segments from one side to the other. And here, if I go to the vertex selection, I can see that there is only one vertex right here and a lot of vertices down there. So it cannot create that loop cut because this is not possible right here. We don't have the same segments in the upper side and the lower side. So let me delete this again. And I'm going to create another shape. I'm going to create a cylinder. Now, when you use a cylinder, you can create loop cuts. So again, if you want to add segmentations, subdivisions to a cylinder, you just go here and you either go by extrusion or you go by loop cut. These are the two ways you can add. Now, you can add also multiple loop cuts by just continuing to click, or you can Let me just go back, and you can create one and go here and increase the number of cuts right away. And you can also change the smoothness right away, so you can see that you can create a nice and smooth surface. And you can change also the type of smoothness, and you can also change the factor, so where these edge loops are going, and you can make them even, flips, and so on. So you have a lot of options here as any other tools. Now, if I want to do a cone and cut multiple cuts inside a cone, I can use a cylinder. So if I use a cylinder and select this face right here, I can scale it. And I can scale it so small that it will not be visible and it will look like a cone. So if I just zoom a lot and scale this a lot like this, well, be careful not to overlap like this. So let's stay. And if I go back, you can see that this is looking like a cone. Well, it's a cylinder, but it's looking like a cone because I scaled the upper side, the top side. So now I can use the edit mode and I can use the loop cuts. And you can see that it will not deform the initial shape. So this is good. And of course I can increase also here, and I can work with the smoothness, create some more interesting shapes. And so you can continue with this and make other tests. Now, another thing we may want to do is to change the position of that loop cut. So if I want to change it and I say, okay, well, there's no problem in changing the position with a cube or with a cylinder, but with a cone, look what happens. So if I select the move and move this down, it's going to create another shape. It looks like a wizard hat. And if I push it up, you can see it's looking like a tent more than a cone. Now, be careful also to deactivate proportional editing when it's not needed, so that you can just affect that edge and not the other that are surrounding. So you can see that it is not working. If I want to slide this but maintain the cone shape, I cannot do it. So let me just go back again to the cone. So there is another tool that is really important, and it's called the edge slide. So the edge slide will let you slide the edge up and down without deforming the shape. So it's really important when you need like to place an edge near the border or in another position. And another thing I can do is cut and slide together. So I can go here. Here you have a lot of other tools that you can use with the edges and in general with polygon modeling. And you can see we have loop, cut, and slide, or Control R for the shortcut key. So now if I cut here, I can click once with the left mouse to cut and then twice to move the position. So let's say that I want to move it there on the top, and that's another option. Now, another way it's to offset edge slide. So let me just cut here again inside. So in the exact middle, this is what the loop cut does, but you can also like change it. So you have like 100% or 0%, and 0.5, sorry, 0, it's the perfect middle from the top one and the bottom one. So we can also do here the offset edge loop cut. So you can click and drag with the left mouse. It's going to create extra cuts. And again, you have other things here that you can adjust. And you can also do it from here. So if you go here, offset edge slide, you click there, you can like double up that edge. So when you have a lot of edges, you can work with curves. You can work also with proportional editing. So when I have all of these, I can go here and perhaps let's scale again. So you can see that it's scaling not only those, but the overall object. So if I want to create something more curvy, I probably want to cut here somewhere in the middle and then like create a lot of cuts. And then let's select just one of these loop cuts. Now, another important thing, when I go outside the loop cut, how do I select it quickly? So then I don't have to go here and hold shift and select all those. Well, you need to go here to the select and select loops. So you can do select edge loops, and it's going to select everything that goes around the object. But also you have another type of selection. If you go to edge, and sorry, you to go to select loops rings. So this is another way you can select a ring of edges, but it's going in the other direction. And then again, you can use that for modeling or whatever. Now you can see how it's creating something that is more curvy than, especially in the parts where we have more segments. So if I select that and do, let's select this one here in the middle and do select again the loop, edge loop. Now, if I have proportional editing off, I can just work with that and I can create something like this. But if I turn on the proportional editing, I can do something more, you can see, curvy. And I can also adjust it right here. I can adjust the type, so it could be like sharp. And here is the area of influence. I can make it like a sphere. So it's changing a lot the way you're gonna affect those surrounding loops. And this is just an example again. I didn't want to make something too complex. So if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and stay updated for other videos that we're gonna create in the future. And if you wanna support us, you can join the channel as a supporter. So thanks for watching and check other video courses and video guides that we have in the channel. See you in the next.